Welcome back. Senate Republicans are urging their GOP colleagues to block a procedural vote today on the more than $110 billion national security supplemental package introduced by Democrats yesterday. The bill addresses President Biden's original funding request. Tensions were at a high at a classified Senate briefing on Ukraine yesterday over the ongoing disagreements on border policy and why the Biden administration is insisting that money go to Ukraine first. Oklahoma Senator, top GOP negotiator for the border policy talks, James Lankford. Breaking news on the program earlier this morning with me on the border crossings. Watch.
Yesterday, the numbers just came out literally just minutes ago. Yesterday, there were 12,080 crossings in a single day. 12,000 crossings. That's an all-time record high. The administration literally has no ability to be able to manage the border, no willingness to be able to manage the border. And to their credit, the Biden administration actually weeks ago came out and said, we want a national security package that deals with Israel, Ukraine, the Pacific, and the border. So while Chuck Schumer is saying Democrats want nothing to do with this, the White House is quietly saying, actually, we do want to be able to have some funding to close the border.
Joining me right now is North Dakota Senator, Senate Armed Services Committee member, and Senate Banking Committee member Kevin Cramer. Senator, great to see you. Thanks very much for being here. Do you believe that there will be border policy changes as part of this package?
Well, Maria, if there are not, I think for the first time after yesterday's briefing, for the first time, Chuck Schumer knows that there's no bill. So he kept telling us we can have an amendment with 60 votes. And I told him, you can't have a bill without 60 votes. So you'd better put it in. You'd better agree to it. And if you do, I think there's a chance that you'll get a large majority in the Senate to pass the package and probably several hundred votes in the House. But without it, I'm afraid we won't move forward.
Well, House Speaker Mike Johnson said he wants to see transformative changes at the border. Specific changes. What do you want to see?
Well, there are a few things. How about just getting back to the pre-pandemic numbers? How about remain in Mexico? If you're going to apply for asylum, you have to apply in a third country, the first safe country that you're in, not get into the United States and turned loose into the interior of the United States. How about a reduction in this very liberal parole policy, which is paroles people into the United States? I mean, those numbers that Senator Lankford just gave you a little earlier in the show. I mean, 12,000. The previous record was the day before at 10,218.
Right.
The day before was 10,200. So it's obviously trending the wrong direction.
Yeah.
But how can I can't go home to North Dakota and explain to my northern border constituents that, yeah, we're going to take care of Ukraine's national security needs and their border, but we're going to neglect ours while, drugs and human trafficking come in at the tune of 12,000 a day?
Yeah, I mean, I remember going to the border and it was 7,000 a day. And I had been to the border 5 times at that point, and we were thinking, wow, 7,000 people a day. Now we're 12,000 people yesterday. Here's Amber Duke. Go ahead, Amber.
Senator, what is going to be in this border security package? Is this just going to be more money to process people, or what are the specifics of how this is going to help actually secure the border as opposed to just helping the flow move more efficiently?
Well, thank you for that, because those details matter a great deal. The president in his package, which did include some border security, was largely aimed at what you talked about, and that is processing illegals faster, getting them into the middle of the country quicker. We have no interest in that. What we're talking about is real policy changes. Remembering that while we want to codify some things, the things we want to codify are the very things that Donald Trump did when he was president without having to have a law change. So in my mind, we have to have some sort of a metric and some sort of a condition to other funding that's dependent on lowering the numbers at the border itself. And it can't be just a few thousand. We should be able to get back to where we were just a couple of years ago. And if we can't do that, I think, we should hold firm and not give Democrats 9 votes to pass national security for other countries when we're not willing to pass security for our own.
Well, we should point out that you just endorsed Donald Trump yesterday, correct?
That's correct. My governor, Doug Burgum, suspended his campaign. I called President Trump a couple of hours later. We had a good visit. We spent about half hour on a local radio station, Flag Family Radio in North Dakota, our friend Scott Hennon, and made the announcement on those radio stations. Because, Maria, it's just time for Republicans not to worry so much about consolidating opposition to Donald Trump, but let's consolidate opposition to Joe Biden. The world's on fire. America is declining, and we need to get America back, and I think the sooner we consolidate our support for Donald Trump, who is our nominee. Let's just, well, not officially, he's going to be our nominee. So let's get behind him.
And I should point out that he was on Fox last night in a town hall with Sean Hannity, and he said one of his first priorities is the border. Listen to this.
The media has been focused on this and attacking you. Under no circumstances. You are promising America tonight you would never abuse power as retribution against anybody.
Except for day one.
Except
Look,
what?
he's going crazy. Except for day one.
Meaning?
I want to close the border, and I want to drill. He says, you're not going to be a dictator, are you? I said, no, other than day one. We're closing the border, and we're drilling. After that, I'm not a dictator.
Senator, he made light of it. Is that what you want? Border closed?
For sure, and not only does he say he's going to do it, we know he will do it because he has done it. And many of the things that need to be done, he can do by executive order because they've been undone by executive order.
That's exactly right. Well, look, we know that this administration is focused on the climate change agenda, and that has included a whole host of new regulations for business. The heads of the major U.S. banks are testifying in front of your committee, the Senate Banking Committee, later this morning. The Wall Street executives will warn that lawmakers about new proposed bank regulations known as the Basel III Endgame. They claim it's going to harm the economy. JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon's prepared remarks say this rule will make services so uneconomical, you will likely see two outcomes. Many banks will simply stop offering certain producers and services, and those that do will have to charge more for them just to make it worth the service. Senator, you're on the Senate Banking Committee. We just heard from another CEO. I had Citizens Financial CEO in the studio a few minutes ago, and he said the regulations are cutting into growth. What are your plans, and what are you going to ask these CEOs?
Well, Maria, I'm going to focus right on those issues exactly, because I don't know how you can require greater capital, make higher capital requirements without affecting the capital available for lending. And if you do that, clearly you're going to push, a lot of activity outside of the regulated banking community, which means, of course, higher cost of money. All of that's negative on an economy that can't afford more negative news and more negative policies. And we have a very strong banking system. I mean, just in May of this year, the Federal Reserve's regulation and regulatory report said that in the aggregate, we have lots of capital, that our banks are capitally strong. But, liberals take every opportunity to make it harder to be successful in our economy. And I don't understand what their goals are except to punish somebody that they're jealous of.
Yeah, and you write that in the op-ed today in the Wall Street Journal about the federal executive branch asserting authority it doesn't actually have. Here's Monica Crowley.
Senator, if I could get back to the spending package that's in front of you. If that spending package is dead, does that mean that all aid to Ukraine, both here in this package and into the future, is also dead?
It probably so, Monica, but this is the leverage point that we've never had as the minority party in the Senate to pass some important provisions on our southern border. I believe that finally yesterday it came to reality with Chuck Schumer and hopefully Joe Biden that without southern border security, there is no Ukraine security in this package. As you know, the House passed a separate bill specifically for Israel. We brought it up in the Senate. Republicans voted for it, Democrats killed it. So, frankly, I think what my people would prefer in North Dakota is that we take every one of these up separately, that we debate in full transparency Ukraine's needs and America's interest in them. I believe that America has an interest in supporting Ukraine. Same with Israel. Obviously, the Pacific, obviously replenishing our own ammunitions and equipment to fight a war should one come to us. But first and foremost is the war that we're in right now at the southern border, and we need to invest in stopping that.
All right, Senator, we're going to be watching your actions and certainly the move by Republicans to hold the line here. Thanks very much for your leadership on that. We will see you soon. Thank you, sir. Kevin Cramer in D.C. this morning. Stay with us. We'll be right back.